Hello everyone, so this is going to be my first video and I wanted to talk about how I started drawing. So the first thing I'm going to go over is my story, and I just kind of stepped into the fandom. I had a friend that was already in it and I really liked the fursuit that she had, and I just kind of went from there. From there I kind of made adopts on my own base, which is what a lot of people do, and it was nice, but I didn't really get much out of it. And one day someone commented on one of my adopts and said, "You should draw your own." And I said, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I can't draw, but you know what? I can give it a try at least. And I wish I could thank them because I've been doing art for 5 years now, professionally even. But I digress. So what they said kind of kicked it into drive, and I've been able to pay my bills with it for the past couple of months, which is really cool. I never thought I'd be able to do that. So today, I kind of want to go over how I got to where I am now, and how I really started and kept up with my art. So the first step is to pick up the pencil. Once you do that, you should try and draw daily, at least for 15 minutes, because this will help you develop a habit. A habit is going to keep you interested in the art, and it's going to make you want to do it regularly. So for the beginning of this, you're going to want to just draw things that you like, things that you see or you think about. You don't really need to worry about references. The whole point is to just get into the habit of drawing on a regular basis. As you get more comfortable with drawing, or as you just started, it doesn't really matter, I recommend studying other artists. So when you're doing this, you want to look at their art and pick out little pieces that you like about it. Maybe the way they do their shading, maybe the way they do their lines, their shapes. And you want to use that in your art. Little pieces here and there. Don't take their entire style, don't trace their art, but pick out these little pieces of information that are going to help you. A lot of times you don't know how to simplify something. This happened with me a lot when I was just beginning. And seeing another artist's work and how they simplify that helped me progress a lot faster in the first couple of years of my art. So use this to your advantage. Once you start to get really comfortable with drawing and you're starting to want to draw regularly outside of your daily 15 minutes, that's the point where you're going to want to start drawing less exciting stuff. This is the part where you're going to actually try and learn a little bit. So with this, you should start to use references. The best thing to do is to kind of take your own references, because a lot of times you're not going to find what you want online, especially if you have very specific ideas of what you want. A big tip that I got when I watched a video was from Ethan Becker, when he said to take video footage for reference. If you're doing like action poses, you want to do this, because then you can go through this video of this action happening and pick out your favorite frame to draw. And that's really going to help you capture the motion of it. If you haven't watched Ethan Becker's tutorials, I highly recommend it. I have learned so much from him already. Alongside using the references, you're going to want to start to draw from real life too. Alongside that, if you're drawing characters, getting a good grasp of anatomy is going to be really important. Maybe consider a class, consider reading an anatomy book, and then studying how those muscles, bones, etc. work together, especially in different poses. One of the hardest things about getting into art is going to be going through art blocks. Art blocks, if you don't know, are where you kind of don't want to draw anything. Whether it's a lack of creativity, like you can't think of ideas, or a lack of confidence, you think of an idea and you don't feel like you can create it. It can be both of those at the same time, or it can be either or. But you can't let it tear you down, because it's usually a result of you being able to see your errors better. This is when you're going to improve a lot. Usually after an art block, you'll see a big improvement, and I've seen it time and time again through my own work. So what I kind of do is I take a little break and then I push through it. Doesn't mean that it's the right way to do it. I'm by no means an expert, but I found that's what helps me. Some people just don't draw at all. Either way, you will likely see an improvement because you can see all the errors of your older work as well. As I mentioned older work, a good thing you can do during art block is kind of look at your older artwork and see where you've improved, because this can be really inspiring and help you see that you are growing and you're learning. One of the last things I have to say is for you to try new things. It's really important to not get stuck in one style. It can be really boring and it can really kill the motivation to do art. So if you always do flat color, you might get a little bored, but you see someone do cell shading and you think that's really cool, give it a try. See if you like it, see if you want to stick with it. Same with painting or any other finish style you see. And sketches are fine too. Some people just sketch, and you can go a long way with that too. Figure out what you like. Don't be afraid to explore, or don't be afraid to drop something that you don't like doing. So, how did I progress so fast? 5 years is pretty quick for an artist. A lot of professional artists have been doing work since they were a small kid. I'm semi-professional. I'm definitely not the greatest. There are so many artists I still admire, and that's one of the important things that you have to remember. Even as you start to get good with art, there is always going to be room for improvement, always new things to learn and understand. How I progressed in a decent amount of time, and how I've gotten to the point where I'm taking commissions regularly, is by using basically everything I just mentioned. You know, I studied other artists, I used references, and I tried new things. It's gonna always be up to you to work and study so that you can constantly improve and grow. You'll see it over the years, especially if you do those art summaries, the yearly art summaries, you will see it. You have to be dedicated to learning and committing to art, and you have to understand that you're not going to make money from it immediately. When studying, there are so many resources at your fingertips. There are books, there are classes, there are tutorials online, so use them to your advantage. I'm almost completely self-taught. If I can become an artist that makes hundreds off of commissions, you can too. Just stick with it. Did you find this video helpful? Let me know with a comment, thumbs up, and or subscribe to my channel, as I will be releasing a lot more videos on how to improve your art. Sketching tips are up next. Thanks for watching.